My friends and I were just outside grazing sheep at night while gazing at the sight of the stars. Then it seemed like a door opened in the sky and an angel appeared. He said his name is Gabriel. Yeah, Gabriel. And he invited us to go see this newborn king. And so my friends were so happy that today we'll make it to the palace. But he said it's actually a manger. Okay, then we'll just go. Just before we left, more angels appeared, praising God for the newborn king. And their voices are actually not from Mercury, Venus, or Earth, but it seemed like a service. So let's just call it a mass. And so we left back our ship to go see this king who will one day walk on water. And so we went and we arrived at the manger. The place was full of cattle, but we are not here for the tea. We are here for the king. So we bowed and worshipped, and every time I lifted my head looking at his face, I know I'm not his father, but that's the same image I see on myself looking at the mirror every day. Or maybe we are made in the same image and likeness. And I bet the livestock in that place were actually so happy, since they'll no longer be killed for sin, sacrifice sins. Christ is now God's perfect sacrifice, and that brings me joy. I don't know if it brings you joy, but personally it brings me joy, and that's why we sing joy to the world. And so it's not a coincidence that the Messiah was born at the time of census. That was definitely the end of the old covenant, and a new covenant was made, which proves he's the Alpha and Omega. A virgin who was used to carrying other mothers' kids got a chance to mother her own. A manger which was used to carrying animal feeds on that night became the cradle of the Messiah. A town that was not popular raised the Savior of the world. A carpenter not yet married became the foster father to a Redeemer. See, when Christ was born, there was no midwife to help, but there was a host of angels praising God for the newborn king. See, no friends or relatives came to visit, but some shepherds and wise men came to worship. And on that night, the palace of King Herod was dark, yet a room where animals are kept was that night filled with light. See, he's the solution to our world which was almost coming to an end. He's the light, he's the candle that lights our path. He's the healer who heals our sickness, the teacher who taught us the law of God. He's the provider who provides all our needs. And more importantly, he's the Savior who saved us from sin. And because he died and rose again to set us free, then on that morning when he rose, on that morning, light never came from the sun which rose from the east, but it came from the Son who rose from the dead. And so today, we are not only celebrating his birthday, but we are celebrating the day we received our salvation.